Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. And you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And an alley to run. Finding room at the 30. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Got some room at the 30. He'll cut it to the right sideline. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
And shedding through the tackle. Finding room inside the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's go! Green!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. And he's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now this time he'll look to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. 23 yards on the play.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And partner Emmitt Smith now moves to number 2. His record of 165 career rushing touchdowns has been broken. What else can you say but wow?
I have no other words but wow, because Emmitt Smith set the standard. A guy that always found his way into the end zone. That record has now been eclipsed. The only thing our new record holder has to worry about, will Emmitt come back and try and get his record back?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big, because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. He can't get him down. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot, hot.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 47 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 74 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week, now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up. But relentless, that's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. On the crossing route, complete. That's Taylor. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They get it to him running left, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs. And
he's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
20! And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Give him 30 yards there. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. The 20, 10, 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. That one goes for 36 yards. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
To throw again, Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.